Hello, how are you? Welcome to the session. Let's wait for about 3 or 4 minutes and then we start the session today. All right, so let's wait for about 2 or 3 minutes. Let everyone join and then we start the session. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes more. Let everyone join in. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes more. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes more. Two more minutes. Let's wait another minute or so. Then we start the session. Let's wait for everyone. Quickly, everyone come in, settle down. Let's wait for another couple of minutes. Let's wait for 30 more seconds. All right. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform that gives you a world of courses, resources, content, recorded and live sessions to help you in your preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examinations. And also, welcome to Crack CA Exams with us, which is a vertical and channel of Unacademy that caters to the students of CA Foundation and intermediate examination in the journey and pursuit of preparation for the CA Foundation and intermediate examination by providing top educators, quality content, and overall a great learning experience. So come, let's crack CA exams with Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. Welcome to the session once again. Before we proceed, let's have a brief introduction about the educator today. Hello, I'm Prathik Gupta. I'm a Bachelor of Commerce from Christ College, Bangalore University. I'm an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and an associate member of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and also a law graduate from Karnataka State Law University. I'm currently a practicing chartered accountant and a visiting faculty for CA subjects and an educator for CA students both offline and online. And prior to starting on my own, I worked with SR Bartley Boy and Associates. That's the Indian member firm of Ernst & Young Global in the Audit and Assurance Department. And then I went on to work with Ernst & Young India in the Mergers and Acquisition Department. And post that, I worked with the Manipal Group in Bangalore as the corporate controller of their Indian entity as well as a German subsidiary located in Frankfurt, Germany. And it was only after I got back from Frankfurt, Germany that I decided to start something on my own. And that also gave me an opportunity to become an educator, which in turn has given me the opportunity today to take this session for you young, bright, and enthusiastic CA aspirants. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you find the session useful. Anytime during the session, in case you have any questions, queries, observations, or discussions to be made, please do not hesitate to drop in a line, and I will take up the matter for problem solving or discussions as soon as I can. All right, welcome to the session once again. Now, like I told you, Unacademy caters to the students of CA Foundation and intermediate in their preparation for the examination through 3 platforms. That is YouTube, special classes, and the premium platform of Unacademy, which is the Plus platform. YouTube and special classes are absolutely free, but they provide immense value and resources to help you in your preparation for the examinations. And the Plus platform is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is a payment-based subscription model, more about which I will tell you as we move on. Now, I strongly recommend and encourage you to get onto the Plus platform of Unacademy due to the following reasons. Firstly, the Plus platform of Unacademy provides daily live classes where you get to chat with your educator, engage in discussions, ask your doubts, and answer polls. All this while the class is going on. Yes, you heard it right. All this while the class is going on. You do not need to wait for the end of the class. You do not need to wait a couple of days after the class. You do not need to wait for the weekend after the class or fix up an appointment with your educator. You can ask your queries and questions in real-time basis to your educator, and your educator will be happy to answer your questions. It's like putting your hand up in a live classroom and your educator answers your questions. It is as simple as that. The second reason why I encourage and recommend you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the live tests and quizzes it conducts on a regular basis to evaluate your preparation and also analyze your performance. Now, you might ask me, what do you mean by evaluation of preparation and analysis of your performance? Please remember, whenever you're preparing for a professional examination, it is very important for you to take a stock of your level of preparation from time to time so that you know which areas you have covered, which areas you require more help, which areas you require external help. So basically, the Plus platform of Unacademy helps to break up your preparation into 3 areas, that is your weak areas, your not so strong areas, and your strong areas, so that whatever limited time for preparation you have, you can spend that accordingly on those 3 areas, in the sense that more time on your weak areas, a little lesser time on your not so strong areas, and less time on your strong areas, until and unless a time is reached when your weak areas and your not so strong areas eventually become your strong areas. Thereby, the Plus platform of Unacademy ensures minimum wastage of time and maximum utilization of time. The third reason why I recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus platform of Unacademy is because of the structured courses it provides. In the sense, all the courses on the Plus platform are structured and in line with the exam syllabus to help you best prepare for it. Which simply means, if once you complete a Plus course on the Plus platform of Unacademy, you can rest assured that you have completed the syllabus of your examination without missing out on any important or major point. And lastly, and most importantly, since the one subscription to the Plus platform of Unacademy gives you access to all the live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of your devices, which simply means the one subscription to the Plus platform of Unacademy will give you access to all the live and recorded special classes, to all the live and Plus courses that Unacademy has to offer you, and you can watch these sessions from the comfort of any of your devices, which means you can view them from your mobile phone, your laptop, your tablet, or your desktop, as the case may be, without any restrictions. You can view them 24/7 without any timing restrictions. In the sense 10 to 5, 10 to 6, nothing like that. Anytime you have the time to prepare for your examination, you can pull out your mobile phone, log into the Unacademy Learning app, and make use of all the resources that are available to you to help you in your preparation. And also, you can access them from any location, be it your house, or be it your when you're waiting for a meeting, or your native place, or when you're on a vacation, or you're returning back home from work, or you're traveling to work and you have time to spare. You can pull out your mobile phone, log into the Unacademy Learning app, and start preparing for your examinations. All you require is a data plan or an internet connection, which all of us are blessed with today. So, keeping these points in mind, out of the many others, I strongly recommend you to get onto the Plus platform of Unacademy in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination as soon as possible. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Okay, now, for those of you who have downloaded and are using the Unacademy Learning app, I thank you very much, and I request your support in the future as well. For those of you who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy Learning app, I request you to go to the Play Store on your mobile phone, put in your mobile number where you will get an OTP, and using that OTP, you can register on the Unacademy Learning app. It is as simple as this, with no lengthy or complicated procedures. So, what do you get once you download and register on the Unacademy Learning app? You get access to all the live and recorded special courses that Unacademy has to offer to you, and you get access to all the live and recorded plus courses that Unacademy has to offer to you in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. So I request everyone to download the Unacademy Learning app, make use of all the resources that are there on the app, and also help the people around you to download and install the Unacademy Learning app, register on it using their mobile number and OTP, and make use of the various resources that are there to help them in their preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Please take a minute, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. All right. Okay. Now, like I told you, the Plus platform of Unacademy is the premium platform of Unacademy, which is a payment-based subscription model. So the Plus platform of Unacademy gives you various subscription packages for the various examinations. So the CA Foundation and Intermediate subscription packages provided by the Plus platform of Unacademy are as follows. The packages provided are for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. The 1 month package normally costs you about 3,500. The 3 month package costs you about 8,750. The 6 month package costs you about 14,000 rupees. The 12 month package costs you about 17,500, and the 24 months package costs you about 21,000 rupees. Now please remember, these are the listed price. So before you make the payment for the package of your choice, please do not forget to use the code Prathik to get an instant discount of 10% on your selected package. I repeat, please do not forget to use the code Prathik, Prathik, that's me, to get an instant discount of 10% on your above listed price. So the after discount price of the various packages are as follows. The 1 month package will cost you rupees 3150. The 3 month package will cost you rupees 7875. The 6 month package will cost you rupees 12,600. The 12 months package will cost you rupees 15,750, and the 24 months package will cost you rupees 18,900. So you see immediately there is a 10% savings that you get when you use my code. Now I recommend you to start off with the 12 months package at least, because two reasons. Firstly, it is cost effective. If you compare the per month cost of the 1 month package with the per month cost of the 12 month package, you will see you have great savings immediately. And secondly, and most importantly, since the CA Foundation and the intermediate courses are provided in one package, a 12-month package will be very beneficial to you because it covers the entire duration of both the courses. That is your CA Foundation and Intermediate, and it takes about a year's time for you to study and clear the CA Foundation and the Intermediate examination. So if you're getting a package that covers both these courses at a very cost-effective price, I think that's a very good deal. But having said this, you are free to choose the package of your choice. But before you make the payment, please do not forget to use the code Pratik to get an instant discount of 10% on the above listed price. You can also use the option of no cost EMI options for the 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months packages, just in case you do not wish to make the payment at one shot. The payment options available to you is internet banking, debit card, credit card, and also all the CA, all the coins that you have accumulated while watching the special classes can be redeemed while making the payment for your Plus course. So keeping these packages in mind and also the advantages of the Plus courses in mind, I strongly recommend and encourage you to become part of the Plus program of Unacademy in order to accelerate and enhance your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examinations. Please take about 2 minutes, go through the slide. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask me. Take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask. Okay. Now, like I told you, the Unacademy Learning app houses all the live and recorded special classes that are conducted. Now, here are the snapshots of few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning app and which are there at your disposal, and the Unacademy Learning app which you can make use of in your preparation for the CA Foundation and Intermediate examination. The special classes are on Revision Test Paper, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Contracts Act, Companies Act, Fundamentals of Accounting, Revision of Partnership Accounts Retirement, Revision of Partnership Accounts Death of a Partner, revision on partnership accounts admission, valuation of inventories, revision on final accounts, and revision on sale of goods on approval or return basis. So there are all these sessions among many other sessions available as special classes on the Unacademy Learning app. So please go on to the Unacademy Learning app and make use of all these resources that are available to you to help you in your preparations. Also, here are the links to few of the many special classes that I have conducted on the Unacademy Learning app. You can either click on these links or copy and paste these links to take you directly to the special class on the Unacademy Learning app. There are special classes on the Indian Contracts Act, Sale of Goods Act, Indian Partnership Act, the Limited Liability Partnership Act, Companies Act, Basics of Communication, Accounting Concepts, Revision Test Papers, and many more. Okay, so please take about a minute, go through the slide, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Okay, so let's start off with the provisions for filing of return of income and self-assessment. Part 2. Part 1 was done yesterday, so let's do part 2 today. So where we are going to talk about the different needs and formats of income tax and the self-assessment procedure as per the Income Tax Act 1961. So we we did cover a lot of topics yesterday, so whatever was not covered yesterday, we will cover it today. Okay, so let's quickly go through this. We went through a revision or a quick thing about what a return of income is. It is a form that has the details of total gross income, deductions, total income and tax payable, and there is a format. So basically, filing of returns of income means providing to the income tax department in a particular format of all the information that they want. Then compulsory filing of returns. There are certain section of assessees who have compulsorily have to file the returns of income. So we went through who they are as well. Then we went through the meaning of beneficial owner and beneficiary as well. Then we spoke about due dates. The due date of filing returns normally is 30th September, 30th November, and or 31st July, as the case may be. And then we went through an illustration where a person was required to file the return. Then interest on default. There is an interest on section 234A. In case the returns are not filed on the due date or they're not filed at all, there is the simple interest at 1% per month. A part of thereof is payable. Then the late fees for filing of returns is 5,000 or 10,000, as the case may be, and there is also a provision to charge late fee for filing returns of 2,000. Okay, I mean, we have done all this, so I'm not repeating it again. You need to go through my yesterday's session. Then there is an option. There is also an option to furnish return of income to the employer. We spoke about return of loss. Just like we have a return of income, there is a return of loss also that needs to be filed, just in case you want to carry forward these losses, that is business losses, speculational business loss, loss from specified business, loss under the head capital gains, and loss from activity of owning and maintaining race horses. So in case there is any loss you've incurred here and you want to carry forward this loss, then you need to file your returns in time, that is on or before the due date. Okay, so this is where we stopped last class. So please take about 2 minutes, go through the slide, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Okay, take another minute. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Okay, so now we'll continue. However, the loss under the head income from house property under section 71B and unabsorbed depreciation under section 32 can be carried forward for set off even though loss of return has not been filed before the due date. So only if there is any loss under the head income from house property or unabsorbed depreciation, even if you don't file the loss return in time, that can still be carried forward and set off in the next year. So income from house property, you'll have a loss only when you have the interest on loan taken against the property which you're claiming, and unabsorbed depreciation is in terms of income from business or profession where you have depreciation more than the income. All right, so a return of loss has to be filed by the assessee in his own interest, and non-receipt of a notice from the assessing officer requiring him to file the return cannot be a valid excuse under any circumstances for the non-filing of such return. So basically, like I told you in the beginning, the filing of a business loss return is in the own interest of the assessee. The act does not mandate you to file a loss return, but if you want to carry forward your losses and set it off against the incomes in the future years, then you need to file it. If you think you don't want the set off, don't file it. It's okay. The assessing officer, anyone, will normally not send you any return, and later on you cannot use it as an excuse saying that I did not get a notice from the assessing officer, so I did not file the return anyway. So it's your own interest. Okay, please take 2 minutes, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Take about a minute more. Okay, now we talk about a belated return. So just now we previously we spoke about section 139(1), in which that is a normal return, okay, which is filed within the normal period of time. Any person who has not furnished a return within the time allowed to him under the section 139(1) may furnish the return for any previous year at any time. That is, if in case you do not file the return in the due date as per section 139(1), that is 30th September, 30th November, or 31st July, then you still have an opportunity to file the return. You can file it before the end of the relevant assessment year or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. So in case the previous year is 2020-21, the assessment year for that is 2021-22. So before the end of the relevant assessment year, you can file a belated return, or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. Okay, so this is the provision for a belated return. Take a minute, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Okay, now we have a revised return. So let's say You have filed a return as per section 139(1) in the due date, that is 30th September, 30th November, or 31st July as the case may be, but suddenly you realize you've made a mistake in the return. So the Income Tax Act 1961 also gives you a provision to make a correction in that return. Okay. Now, what is if any person having furnished a return under section 139(1) or a belated return under section 139(4) discovers any omission or any wrong statement therein, he may furnish a revised return at any time. Now, what is the time limit? Before the end of the relevant assessment year. That means for previous year 2021, assessment year is 21-22. So before this year he can file a revised return, or before completion of the assessment, whichever is earlier. So in case you filed your returns in time and everything, and the assessing officer finishes or completes your assessment, then in that case you cannot file a revised return. But otherwise you have time till the end of the relevant assessment year to file your revised return. All right, please take 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take a minute more. Let's have a look at an illustration. Explain with brief reasons whether the return of income can be revised under section 139(5) of the Income Tax Act 1961 in the following cases. Belated return filed under section 139(4), return already revised once under section 139(5), return of loss filed under section 139(3). So now we need to see whether in these three cases the return of income can be revised under section 139(5). That is a belated return filed under section 139(4), a return already revised once under section 139(5), or a return of loss filed under section 139(3). So let's have a look. Solution: any person who has filed a return under section 139(1) or 139(4) can file a revised return at any time before the end of the relevant assessment year or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier, if he discovers any omission or any wrong statement in the return filed earlier. So a person who has filed an original return under section 139(1) in time, or a person who has filed a belated return under section 139(4) can file a revised return under section 139(5) before the end of the relevant assessment year or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier, if he finds out that there is any error or omission or any wrong statement in the return filed earlier. Accordingly, a belated return under section 139(4) can be revised. Okay, so this can be revised. The second question: a return revised earlier can also be revised again, as the first revised return replaces the original return. Therefore, if the assessee discovers any omission or wrong statement in such a revised return, he can furnish a second revised return within the prescribed time. That is within the end of the relevant assessment year or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. So it doesn't matter if you revise the return once, you can go on and revise it again or how many ever times you want till the end of the relevant assessment year or till the assessment is complete, whichever is earlier. Okay, so before that you can revise the return how many ever times you want. So even in the second case, return can be revised. Now, return of loss under section 139(3), a return of loss filed under section 139(3) is deemed to be a return filed under section 139(1) and therefore can be revised under section 139(5). So if there is the whole purpose of filing a loss return is to carry forward your losses, and if you want to carry forward your losses, you need to file it in time as per section 139(1). So if you have filed your returns under section 139(1), even though it's a loss returns, you can revise it either before the end of the relevant assessment year or before the assessment is complete, whichever is earlier. So in all three cases, we see that the return can be revised. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this, and then we proceed. Any questions, please ask. Okay, take about 2 more minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Take about 2 more minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, any questions? Take a minute more. Okay, now we look at the particulars to be furnished with the return. Okay, it's with your IT returns. The prescribed form of the return shall, in certain cases, require the assessee to furnish the particulars of income exempt from taxes, assets of the prescribed nature and value held by him as beneficial owner or otherwise, of which he is a beneficiary, his bank account and credit card held by him, expenditure exceeding the limits incurred by him under the prescribed heads, and such other outgoings as may be prescribed. So basically, the format of the income tax return differs from person to person and the kind of income that they earn, and they have to put in all the details that are required in their return of income. Now, the details that are required are incomes exempt from tax, like dividends, agricultural income, even though you don't pay taxes on them, but you need to declare them in your returns. Assets of the prescribed nature and value held by him as a beneficial owner or otherwise. So if the assessee is holding any assets as the beneficial owner or otherwise, he's the beneficiary, he needs to disclose those assets as well. His bank account and credit card held by him, expenditure exceeding the prescribed limits incurred by him under the prescribed heads, and such other outgoings as may be prescribed. So basically, all the expenditure under the various headings have to be given by him, his bank account and credit card details, and such other outgoings. Outgoing means spendings as may be prescribed. So these are few of the many items that need to be disclosed in the income tax return of the assessee. Please take about 2 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask me. Are we done? Okay. Particulars to be furnished with return of income in case of an assessee engaged in business or profession. So now if an assessee is engaged in business or profession, what are the particulars that need to be furnished with the return of income? The prescribed form of the return shall, in the case of an assessee engaged in any business or profession, also require him to furnish the report of any audit referred to in section 44AB, that is the tax audit report. In case the assessee is subject to tax audit, then he will have to attach the tax audit report. The particulars of location and style of the principal place where he carries on the business or profession and all branches thereof. So basically the location, that is the registered office where he carries on the business and where he maintains all the books of accounts. The names and addresses of the partners, if any, in such business or profession, if he is a member of any association or body of individuals. Okay, so these are the four primary information that he needs to provide. That is the tax audit report, the particulars of the location and style of the principal place where he carries on business, the names and addresses of the partners, if any, in such business or profession, and if he is a member of any association or body of individuals. The names of other members of the association or body of individuals. If he is a member of any association or body of individuals, then he needs to give the name of the other members of such an association or body of individuals as well. The extent of the share of the assessee and the shares of all such partners or members, as the case may be, in the profits of the business or profession. So when there are more than one partners or members in the business, what is their share in the profits of the business need to be disclosed as well by the assessee when he's filing his returns for business or profession. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes. Take about 2 more minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Take another 2 minutes. Are we done? Now, let's talk about what do you mean by a defective return. Okay, so we've seen a normal return under section 139.1. We've seen a revised return, a belated return under section 139.4, and a revised return under section 139.5. Now let's look at a defective return. Under this section, the assessing officer has the power to call upon the assessee to rectify a defective return. Where the assessing officer considers that the return of income furnished by the assessee is defective, he may intimate the defect to the assessee and give him an opportunity to rectify the defect within a period of 15 days from the date of such intimation. The assessing officer has the discretion to extend the time period of 15 days on an application made by the assessee. Okay, so normally what happens once you file your return? Okay, so the assessing officer starts to scrutinize your return. So while checking your return, if there is anything that was mandatorily supposed to be there, some piece of information that you mandatorily required to disclose in your return but you did not do it, then the assessing officer may consider it as a defective return. So when he finds out that, he sends the return back to you and he points out that this is the defect in your return. So within 15 days, please correct the defect and submit again. And if you do not submit it within 15 days, then it will be considered as a defective return and you will be considered as a person who's not filed his returns at all. Okay, so that 15 days period could be further extended by him on a case-to-case basis. Now, if the defect is not rectified within the period of 15 days or such further extended period, then the return would be treated as an invalid return. The consequential effect would be the same as if the assessee had failed to file the return. So whenever the assessing officer gives you time to file a revise a defective return, you should do it within that time, because if you do not file it, then the time lapses and you are considered a defaulter. That is, if you have not filed your returns at all, in case you have not rectified your defective return. Where, however, the assessee rectifies the defect after the expiry of 15 days or the further extended period, but before assessment is made, the assessing officer can condone the delay and treat the return as a valid return. But however, if the assessee rectifies the defect after the expiry of 15 days or the further extended period, but before the assessment is made, the assessing officer normally will accept that and will process the return as a valid return. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take about 2 more minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Are we done? Any questions, please ask. Okay, then now we are talking about defective return. The return of income shall be regarded as defective unless the following conditions are fulfilled, namely, the annexure, statements and columns in the return of income relating to computation of income chargeable under the head of income, computation of gross total income have been duly filled in. Okay, so for a return to be not treated as a defective return, the annexure, statements and columns in the return of income as per the format relating to the computation of income chargeable under each head of income, computation of gross total income and total income have been duly filled in. So all these, the gross total income, deductions, computation of total income and taxes should be properly given. The return of income is accompanied by the following. So in order for the return of income to be not treated as defective, the following should be attached to the return of income. A statement showing the computation of tax payable on the basis of return. So on what basis did you compute the taxes, or your tax computation should be present there. The report of the audit obtained under section 44AB, if such report has been furnished prior to furnishing the return of income. So your tax audit report has to be enclosed along with the return of income. Where regular books of accounts are maintained by the SSC, the return of income is accompanied by the following: copies of the manufacturing account, trading account, profit and loss account, or income and expenditure account, or similar account, and balance sheet. So where regular books of accounts are maintained by the SSC, the trading, P&L, and manufacturing account or income and expenditure account and the balance sheet, as the case may be, needs to be enclosed with the return of income. If these documents are not enclosed with the return of income, the return of income will be treated as a defective return. All right. Please take about 2 or 3 minutes, go through this. Any questions, please ask. Take about 2 or 3 minutes. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take about 2 more minutes. Any questions? Please take 2 more minutes. Any questions? Please ask. Take your time, go through it easily, go through it slowly. Any questions? Please ask me. Okay. Now their personal accounts as detailed below. The proprietary business or profession, the personal account of the proprietor. If it's the return of a firm, association of persons, or body of individuals, then the personal accounts of the partners or the members. Partner or member of a firm, association of persons or body of individuals, partners, personal account, and firm. Okay, so if the return is being filed of a proprietor, then you need to attach the personal account of the proprietor. If the return is being filed of a firm, association of persons, or body of individuals, then the personal accounts of the partners or members. And if the return being filed is a partner or a member of a firm, association, or body of individuals, then the partners, personal account, and the firms member's personal account in the association of persons or body of individuals needs to be attached. Similarly, where the accounts of the assessee have been audited, the audit report, the return should be accompanied by copies of the audited profit and loss account and balance sheet and auditor's report. That's what we saw in the previous one. So these are a few of the documents that need to be attached with the return of income. Otherwise, the return of income will be treated as defective in nature. Okay, please take about 2 minutes, go through that. Any questions, please ask me. Any questions, please ask. Take about 2 minutes. Do we have any questions? Okay, now permanent account number. Okay, now we have spoken about PAN, right? So we know PAN is a very basic document that every person or every assessee under the Income Tax Act needs to have a PAN number. So what is a PAN number? Now again, this is the basics. Okay, serial number 1. Persons required to apply for PAN, time limit for making such an application. Every person, if his total income or the total income of any other person in respect of whom he is assessable under the Income Tax Act any previous year exceeds the minimum amount which is not chargeable to income tax, which is currently 2.5 lakhs, then he needs to apply mandatorily for a PAN card on or before the 31st of the assessment year for which the income is assessable. Okay, so now we are looking at who are the people who mandatorily need to apply for a PAN card. Firstly, if a person's income after making all deductions and everything is exceeding the minimum amount that is exempt from income tax, such a person needs to apply for a PAN within 31st May of the assessment year for which the income is assessable. Secondly, every person carrying on business or profession whose total sales, turnover or gross receipts are likely to exceed rupees 5 lakhs in a year. So if any person is carrying on any business or profession and his turnover, sales or gross receipts is likely to exceed 5 lakhs in any previous year, then he has to apply for a PAN card before the end of that financial year. Okay, sales means sales turnover. If his sales total exceeds 5 lakhs in that previous year, then he needs to apply for a PAN card. Third, every person being a resident other than an individual which enters into financial transaction of an amount aggregating to 2,50,000 or more in a financial year. So if any person enters into any financial transactions that receiving or giving more than 2,05,000 to 2,50,000 in any financial year, then such person also has to apply for the PAN card before 31st May of the immediately preceding financial year, immediately following financial year. And fourth, every person who is a managing director, partner, trustee, author, founder, karta, chief executive officer, principal officer or office bearer of any person referred to in 4 above, or such person competent to act on behalf of such persons referred to in 4 above, on or before 31st of May immediately following the financial year in which the person referred to in 3 enters into the financial transaction. Alright, so basically here are, a few of the people who are mandatorily required to apply for a PAN card every year, and this is the time limits given. Please take 2 minutes, go through this and let me know. Any questions, let me know. Any questions, please ask. Please take about a minute more. Any questions, please ask. Any questions, please ask. Okay, if there are no questions, we will end this session at this, and we will continue later. Okay, so thank you so much for being a wonderful audience, and I will continue in the next session. Thank you so much.